I honestly thought Souta Yamazaki would give up after that night at the bar. He looked shaken and confused. Not physically. Physically he looked like a man carved directly by some Japanese sculptor. But emotionally he looked like someone who finally realized what guilt tastes like. I expected silence, distance, and a bit of peace. But apparently, peace was something I wasn't allowed to have. Because the very next morning, I stepped out of my building only to see a familiar black car parked by the corner like a loyal dog waiting for its owner. My first instinct was, no way. Absolutely not. I turned around and pretended I had forgotten something upstairs. But then the car window rolled down. Haru. Just one word please. I froze then turned around slowly. Souta was wearing a black button-up shirt with sleeves slightly rolled, hair styled like he woke up from a photo shoot. His eyes softened when he saw me. I clicked my tongue loudly. Stop calling my name like that, Souta. Then get in so we can talk. I'm going to work, I said, trying to walk past him. I know. I'll drop you off. I stopped. Do I look like someone who needs a chauffeur? No, he said, smiling slightly, but you look like someone who's avoiding me. My jaw clenched. Of course he figured that out. I didn't get in the car. I walked away fast, almost tripping because my shoelace was loose, and I would rather die than let him see me trip, so I kept going. He didn't chase me. He just drove slowly beside me like some dramatic K-drama male lead. Are you seriously doing this? I snapped. Yes, Mr. Haru. Why? Because you hate me. And you think stalking me will help? I'm not stalking, he said. I'm just trying to talk to you. I stopped walking again. His car stopped too. Trying for what? He took a quiet breath. To fix things. I laughed. Loudly. Good luck with that. He didn't respond. He only watched me with that expression, the one I hated because it made him look sincere. He didn't stop. For 3 days straight, Souta showed up after work. Sometimes he leaned against his car waiting for me. Sometimes he sat inside, pretending to be on his phone like he wasn't obviously here for me. Every time I tried to ignore him. Every time he still said, Haru, get in. Let me take you home. And every time I refused. On the 4th day, however, he upgraded his strategy. He came dressed in a fitted white shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows, hair slightly messy like he didn't even realize how annoyingly hot he looked. He even wore glasses, which should have been illegal. I came out of work, tired, irritable, ready to yell at him. And then I saw him leaning on the hood of his car, looking completely dashing. My brain betrayed me instantly. He is so my type. Tall, sharp jawline and those beautiful almond eyes. Fantastic. Life was officially unfair. He smirked when he caught me staring. Take your time. I know I look good. Save the drama. I snapped back at him, cheeks heating slightly. I'll take that as a compliment. He laughed softly. God. I hated how warm that laugh sounded. He opened the car door. He literally opened the passenger door for me. Like some gentleman. Like we were on a date. Haru, get in, he said softly. Let me take you home. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to force you. I really want to talk to you. I crossed my arms. Do you want to buy my forgiveness again? No, he shook his head. I realized money doesn't work on you. Good. At least he learned something. So what do you want? I asked. To plead for your forgiveness. Haru, he called, leaning closer. I canceled a lot of modeling deals this past 4 days just so I could get to talk to you again. Something in his tone made my chest tighten. I didn't like it. I didn't want to feel anything. Revenge was the plan. But then, something inside me felt complicated. I rolled my eyes hard. Fine. But only because you're annoying me. His lips twitched into a smile that looked way too relieved. I got in the car. He closed the door gently like I was something fragile. He walked around, got in beside me and started the engine. And just like that, we drove off together for the second time. The car ride was quiet. Souta drove with one hand on the wheel, the other resting casually on the side, veins showing, wristwatch glinting under the evening light. I refused to look in his direction for safety reasons. My sanity's safety. So, he finally said, Have you eaten today? Small talk. Why did his voice make it sound intimate? Yes, I replied sharply. It was a lie. I hadn't. But he didn't deserve to know. Liar. He whispered. My head snapped toward him. Excuse me? You always frown like that when you're hungry. Souta said. Oh please, you don't know me? I knew you for 3 years in high school, Haru. I choked. Literally choked on air. High school was a long time ago. I managed to cough out. Souta smiled gently. I still remember things. I looked away immediately, my ears warming. He parked at a quiet riverside cafe, the kind with warm fairy lights, soft music, and only rich people who whisper when they talk. Why are we here? I asked. I wanted somewhere peaceful. Somewhere we won't fight. I snorted. Then you picked the wrong person. He opened my door again and waited for me to step out. Inside, he picked a table near the window where the reflection of the city lights danced on the water. He sat across from me, elbows on the table, leaning forward slightly like I was the most interesting thing in the room. He watched me too closely. So, he said softly, tell me how you've been. Fine, I replied quickly. That was it. That was the whole answer. He raised an eyebrow. So, you became a top lawyer. He said. That's a good one. My chest tightened. I glared at him. Don't act like you know anything about my life now. I want to, he said quietly. If you let me. I almost forgot how to breathe for a second. Then a waiter arrived. Souta ordered for both of us before I could say anything. I didn't say I wanted that, I snapped. He smiled. You always liked warm soba noodles when you were upset. And you're upset now. I froze. You remembered that? Out of all things? My fingers trembled slightly and I had to hide them under the table. When the food came, I didn't want to eat. My pride refused. My stomach, however, betrayed me instantly by rumbling loudly for him to hear. Souta smiled mischievously. I clicked my tongue and took a bite just so he would stop looking at me like I was adorable or something. He watched me the whole time, not in a creepy way but in a way that made my chest feel too full. Like he was memorizing me. Haru, he said finally, I want to tell you something. I didn't look up. If it's another apology. It's not. He said, cutting me off. His tone shifted. Lower. More serious. I forced myself to meet his eyes. I was horrible to you, he said. Not because I hated you, but because I didn't know how to deal with you. My spoon paused midair. Deal with me? What does that even mean? I was immature. Confused. My home life wasn't good. But none of that excuses how I treated you. I know that. I really genuinely know that. My throat tightened painfully. A part of me wanted to tell him to shut up. The other part of me needed to hear it. I think about it a lot, he continued. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't been such a coward. I blinked. What do you mean? I asked carefully. He took a deep breath. When you left school, I felt something was missing. I didn't understand it then. But now I do. His gaze locked onto mine, steady, burning, unflinching. I liked you, Haru. Even back then. Maybe I still do. My brain completely short-circuited. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I was spiraling. You're joking, I said quickly. No, I'm not. He said defensively. Well, I don't believe you. I said back. I know it's hard to believe, but I was really having a crush on you, but then I figured you were having a crush on someone else. Aiko. I clenched my jaw. So you ruined my life just because you were jealous of her? His breath hitched. Yes, Haru. Silence washed over us. After the meal, he insisted on driving me home again. In the car, he didn't speak. But the air was thick, with unspoken things, unsorted feelings. When he pulled up outside my apartment, he didn't touch me. He didn't force anything. He just looked at me. Like I was someone precious. Someone he wasn't sure he deserved. Good night, Haru, he said quietly. I opened the door, stepped out, and closed it behind me. But before I walked away, I made the mistake of turning back. He was still staring at me. But aloud, all I said was, "Don't wait for me tomorrow. I will go home myself." His lips curled gently. "Then I'll wait the day after." I scoffed and walked away quickly. He was slowly ruining my revenge plans. The universe hates me. That is the only conclusion I reached that morning. because the first thing I saw on social media was a trending video titled, "Model Souta Yamazaki spotted with new partner, chemistry level insane." I clicked the video so fast I'm pretty sure I sprained my thumb. The clip showed Souta filming with another guy. He was tall, handsome, flawless skin, sharp jawline. The type of man you'd see on a billboard and immediately feel ugly. He had broad shoulders, perfect hair, and one of those perfect smile. He also touched Souta's shoulders. I almost threw my phone across the room. What kind of nonsense? I paused the video, zoomed in repeatedly like some kind of criminal detective trying to catch cheating evidence. Why are they standing so close? Why is Souta smiling that much? I stormed into Riku's lounge looking like a man who caught his wife cheating. Riku took one look at me and sighed. What happened now? Did your handsome enemy get on your nerves? I didn't have to reply his silly question. I shoved the phone at his face. Look at this. Riku squinted. Haru, this is a normal promotional video. Normal? I barked. He touched his shoulder. And so what? Riku asked, confused. People touch shoulders. Well, he shouldn't touch his shoulder. Riku stared at me. Then at the phone. Then back at me. A smirk crawled up his face. Oh, he said. I get it. Get what exactly? You're jealous. I choked on absolutely nothing. Excuse you? You're jealous and don't want to admit it? He folded his arms, nodding as if analyzing a rare psychological case. Haru Fujimoto, jealous over a man he planned to throw in jail. Wow. Beautiful character development. Riku said. I am not jealous. Sure, he said sarcastically. You're just upset that another man is working closely with Souta. I'm concerned because it affects my revenge plan. I argued. Ah yes, Riku said. Your revenge plan. The one you haven't worked on in days because you're too busy letting him drive you around town and feed. I glared. Shut up. He stepped closer and placed a hand on my shoulder. Haru, be honest with yourself. His voice softened. You're falling for him. My heart stumbled. I looked away, annoyed that he was right. Again. I don't want to fall for him. I whispered. I know, Riku said gently. But feelings don't care about your plans. I left the lounge refusing to admit the truth to Riku. Later that evening, Souta texted me. Hey, can I pass by later? I want to show you something from today's shoot. I stared at the message for 10 whole minutes. Part of me wanted to ignore him. The jealous part, the part screaming internally about that extremely handsome guy, wanted to block him altogether. But another part of me, the part one hated the most, wanted to see him. I typed, you're busy with your new partner. Go show it to him. It took him 20 seconds to reply. Haru, are you mad at me? I tossed my phone on the bed and groaned into my pillow. Souta showed up anyway. Around 8:30 p.m., there was a knock on my door. I opened it. What are you doing here? I hissed. You didn't answer my question, he said quietly. Are you mad at me? Mad? I crossed my arms defensively. Why would I be mad? Go ask your partner. His eyebrows lifted. Partner? You know, the tall, shiny guy who touched your shoulder for no reason. A silence fell. Then Souta laughed. I nearly slammed the door in his face. He quickly stopped me, placing his hand on the door frame. Haru, he's just another model. He's not my partner. You seem pretty close, I muttered. His expression softened into something warm, almost teasing. Were you jealous? I backed away instantly. No, I'm not. He stepped closer. Are you sure about that? I swallowed. His eyes met mine, steady, gentle, but intense in a way that made my knees question their life purpose. Haru, he whispered, I don't look at anyone the way I look at you. My heart lodged itself in my throat. I didn't come here for him. He continued softly. I came here for you. I looked away because looking into his eyes felt like stepping into a trap. A dangerous romantic trap. Before I knew it, I pulled Souta in and kissed him unapologetically. Then I pushed him off afterwards. Then he whispered, You like me too, don't you? I didn't say anything. I simply told him to leave. That night, after Souta left because I forced him to leave before I did something stupid after that kiss, I sat alone on my couch for a long time, thinking. For the first time, I admitted it to myself, that I liked him. By the next morning, I finally understood one thing. I couldn't keep living with a revenge plan that my heart had already rejected. I woke up feeling lighter but also terrified. Terrified because I finally admitted to myself that I cared about Souta, and terrified because I didn't know how to tell him. I spent the entire day pacing around my apartment, thinking, denying, accepting, then denying again like an emotionally confused penguin. Eventually, I gave up and decided to go to work early, thinking distraction would help. But it didn't. I kept checking my phone like a teenager waiting for a crush to text back. It was pathetic. Around lunchtime, I heard a familiar voice behind me. Haru. I froze. I didn't even need to turn around. I slowly looked back, and there he was. Souta stood a few steps away, dressed simply but beautifully like he always did. His hair was slightly messy, like he had been running his hand through it nervously. His eyes, softer than I had ever seen them. He stepped closer. I didn't move. I want to talk, he said quietly. I swallowed, my heart beat louder than the office AC. About everything, he added, his gaze steady. But mostly, about you. Letting the grudge go. We found a quiet corner outside the building. No crowds, no cameras, no distractions. Just us and the cold breeze brushing past. Souta took a breath, then another, and when he spoke, his voice wasn't the voice of the boy who used to bully me. He admitted that he thought I hated him beyond repair and never expected I'd even look at him again. Hearing him speak like that, something inside me finally cracked open. The grudge I held for 10 years slowly melted into something else. I realized the boy who hurt me wasn't the guy standing in front of me now. And I wasn't the timid kid he once picked on. We were two different people, standing in a moment that didn't belong to the past anymore. I exhaled shakily. For years, I said quietly, I thought revenge would make me feel better, but it didn't. He looked at me gently. Haru, what do you want now? I didn't know how to answer. But my heart answered for me. I wanted him. I wasn't scared of admitting it. A new beginning. I didn't fall into his arms dramatically, that's not my style. But I did something far scarier. I let myself smile at him. His shoulders relaxed, and he looked so relieved you'd think I just rescued him from drowning. We didn't immediately kiss because slow burn endings deserve respect. But Souta stepped closer, just enough for me to feel his warmth and his breath mingling with mine. In that quiet space, something new formed between us. Something soft, fragile, and beautiful. Later that night, I decided the perfect way to seal the new beginning was to take him somewhere soothing, and that was Riku's lounge. The moment we walked in, Riku froze behind the counter, staring at Souta like I had brought home a wild animal. I gave him a warning glare. He gave me a thumbs up like an idiot. We found a booth in the corner, dim lights, soft music, warm air. And for the first time since we reconnected, Souta looked relaxed. We talked about stupid high school memories, his modeling disasters, my lawyer stress, and random things we had missed in each other's lives. At one point, Riku brought drinks and gave me a look that screamed, "Wow, you're actually in love." I kicked him under the table. He deserved it. Souta laughed, a real, unrestrained laugh, and somehow that sound made the room warmer. By midnight, we were sitting shoulder to shoulder, not touching but close enough for comfort to bloom quietly between us. No unnecessary declarations, just the quiet understanding that something new had started between us. When we finally stepped outside, Tokyo's night breeze wrapped around us and Souta gave me a heart-warming kiss on the lips. Souta walked me home and before leaving he smiled. "I'm glad," he said gently, "that I got a second chance with you." My chest tightened in the best possible way. "Don't waste it," I said. He nodded. And as I watched him walk away into the glowing streets of Tokyo, I realized that sometimes, it's best to let go of past grudges, and to heal from every form of hate. Please like this story, comment and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to support us. Thanks for watching.